What's up, guys? Today I have a UU battle for you against someone called Stupid Sexy Flanders from the Smogon Battle Finder, which is unfortunately down right now. Based off the team preview, I have three Stealth Rock Weak Pokemon, which is mighty unfortunate. And he has Heracross, which is always a huge threat whenever you face it in UU. Um, and let's see if I'm able to actually fight through the Stealth Rock weakness because he has Bronzong, which will most obviously get up his rock. So let's see how the match turns out. Now, I believe he starts with his Bronzong while I start with my Victini. Now, I figured the switch would be a bit obvious, so I just go for the first turn U-turn. This is a banded Victini while I go out to my Roserade. And he gets up his rocks. So, turn 1, 3 of my Pokemon are already on a timer, and they can't switch in as often. And right now, I go for Sleep Powder, and I guess he chooses for his Heracross to go to sleep. Now, this really scared me right here because it could be a banded set with Sleep Talk, but based on the fact that he switches, it's probably not a gut set, and while he switches out to his Arcanine. Now, I see it doesn't have Intimidate, so it's Flash Fire, so with my Victini, I go for Fusion Bolt against the Hitmontop, which, thanks to the Intimidate, even though I'm banded, well, I guess that does a decent chunk of damage, but it'll eventually be able to just heal it off, I guess. Now, I switch out to my Zapdos because this isn't a sweeping Zapdos, it's a defensive set, so I should be able to handle Hitmontop very fine, be able to Toxic it, and he manages to bring in his Arcanine now. And he goes for the Crunch, which does surprisingly a small amount. Well, not surprisingly because I'm defensive and I'm able to roost off the damage there. I guess he went for Crunch, probably predicting my Victini switching or something. Anyway, I go for a Toxic and he predicts that, I guess, and goes to Roserade while I go out to my Victini. He uses Sludge Bomb, and that brings my Victini down very low. He gets the poison, very luckily, and that manages to finish off my Victini. So I really played Victini poorly. It didn't even get a kill. And Banded Victini is really, really good, especially with V-Create, but I guess I didn't have the opportunity with Arcanine around. I go into my Scarfed Togekiss here, and I go for the Fire Blast because I figured Bronzong incoming would be pretty obvious. And that does surprisingly a small amount considering it's a max special attacking Togekiss. And I go into my Swampert now. Now, based off the Fire Blast damage, I had a very good hunch that this would be a heat-proof Bronzong, and I'm right. And I go for an Earthquake, and that cleanly takes out the Bronzong. I guess he wasn't thinking that I would go for the Earthquake because most people just assume that it has Levitate, but the Fire Blast damage was just very telling because it should have done more to a Bronzong, honestly. Right here, he switches in his Roserade. Now, I figured that the Grass move would be a bit too obvious to go to, and that the Swampert switch out was a bit too obvious first turn, so I go for the Ice Punch to bring it down very low. And then I switch out to my Roserade in order to take the Grass move, but he decides to go for the rest. And I think he managed to get a layer of spikes in there somehow at one point. He switches out now. He'll wake up due to the natural cure. And I go for a Sludge Bomb here, and I take out this Arcanine due to a crit, which is very nice. I'm not complaining. A critical hit is always nice, especially on your end where you actually take out something that would have otherwise threatened you. Azumarill comes in. I go for a Giga Drain because it's super effective, and because of its bulk, it doesn't take it out. And he gets to take me out with an Ice Punch. This isn't a bulky Roserade as you saw with Sleep Powder. It's just a max speed, max special attack, so Ice Punch will take it out. I go to Togekiss now because I'm Scarfed and he's blocking the Ice Punch. And he goes out to a Hitmontop. I'm guessing as Death Fodder. He Air Slash. It still doesn't take it out, but I still don't know why he switched into Hitmontop. Maybe it's Death Fodder. I go for another Air Slash, and I think he actually missed that one. I missed that one point, and he kept going for Sucker Punch because he really didn't want to get flinched by me, in case he wanted to go for close combat. Right now, he goes into Azumarill. Aqua Jet is very obvious here, so I go into my Zapdos. Even with Rocks damage, the Aqua Jet is going to be doing next to nothing, and I'm pretty sure that's a banded Azumarill. Yeah, it is. So, yeah, right now, I predict the Roserade switch because the defensive Zapdos can't really do much against especially defensive Roserade. So my Togekiss is the best switch-in. Now he has to choose something to die to it, which is his sleeping Heracross. So Heracross didn't actually do anything in this match, which is very fortunate for me because they're always very annoying whether they're Scarfed or Sub, Moxie. He manages to bring in his Azumarill. I can't switch out again because of Stealth Rock, and he takes me out. I go into my Swampert here. I figured that an Aqua Jet wouldn't do much, and I just go for an Earthquake to do as much damage as I can. And he brings in the Roserade again, and I believe it does the same amount of damage as before with Ice Punch. Now, all he has left, I believe, is Azumarill and Roserade. So I switch into my Umbreon, which is my special wall on this team. It's your standard Umbreon with Wish Protect, Heal Bell, Foul Play. I'm not the biggest fan for stall-oriented Pokemon, but Umbreon just works most of the time. It really fits in well to most teams. I mean, look at how well it takes this Giga Drain. It could just wish off all the damage. It could just sit there all day, and Foul Play was a great addition to its moveset. I think he finally decides to switch out here into his Azumarill. Maybe predicting a Protect, but I just go for Foul Play, and from that range, it would actually take out the Azumarill, which is very nice. Now, he goes into his Roserade. Now it's Roserade versus Umbreon. He continually goes for Giga Drain, and he gets a crit there, which still does nothing. Not surprisingly. I go for a Foul Play, which does a decent chunk. Now, this could be a little stall war here because I do have Wish to back me while he does have Rest. And it is his final Pokemon, so if he goes for Rest, he'll just be asleep for 2 turns, which would net me the game anyway. He goes for a Sludge Bomb here, probably wishing for another Poison, but he doesn't get it, which is very nice. I manage to get back up to near full with Umbreon, and he's really getting low due to Foul Play, and he finally does decide to go for that Rest. I'm guessing he forgot that I have other Pokemon. I think all I have is Swampert. I think that's true. Anyway, I'll be able to switch in Swampert now because thanks to the Foul Play damage that I just inflicted on his Roserade, and Ice Punch will definitely be able to take it out thanks to the damage we saw before. So right now he's fast asleep, and I hit him with the chilling Ice Punch, which manages to take out the Roserade with a critical hit at the end. and that will be the game. So thank you for battling me, Stupid Sexy Flanders. Thank you everyone for watching. If you want to leave a like, it would be much appreciated in the comments. It's always fun to interact with my subscribers, so I hope everyone has a good day. Thank you.